One day while I was on my way to school I started to feel the need to shit because my dumbass decided to have leftovers from dinner last night for breakfast. I didn't want to tell my dad because I knew he would be mad as hell, so I just held in my shit. I got to school and I kid you not, I had the worst stomach ache of my life. I was in math and I felt the shit coming. I was about to ask if I could go to the bathroom but it was too late. The shit had already started flowing out of me and I felt like a rocket ready for takeoff. It was blasting out of me like lava. All my classmates stared at me as I shitted like a horse with bowel issues. The chair I was sitting in was fully submerged in shit. Everyone in the room started hyperventilating because my shit was slowly killing them. My entire class went blind because my shit was burning their eyes. 5 people fainted, and my teacher called the police. I tried to control my ass but the shit would not stop coming. By now the entire room was flooded with shit, and we had to go into lockdown because people were dying because of my shit. My classmates all drowned in my diarrhea and somehow I managed to make it out alive. Everybody died because of the radiation coming from my shit. I lived because I am immune to. Last summer we were supposed to go on a family vacation to Hawaii. We got all our bags packed the night before and my dad woke us up early so we could get to the airport. We were rushing so we couldn't get breakfast at home and we had to get it from one of the airport restaurants. We didn't have many options so we just went to Taco Bell. Those tacos did not sit well with my stomach. I told my mom I had to go to the bathroom but she said I had to wait until we got on the plane because our flight was taking off any minute. We all boarded the plane and I sat down in my seat. I had to shit real bad but I couldn't use the bathroom until we were in the air. During takeoff it happened. The rumble jumble of the plane flying shook my ass cheeks and the sudden change in altitude caused the shit to come flying out. I couldn't control it and the shit would not stop shooting out. I was erupting like a nuclear volcano. The airplane started filling up with hydroelectric acid because of my steaming shit. The person next to me died of heat stroke. It got all foggy and it was hard to see. The caption was announcing that we needed an emergency landing. Nobody could breathe because of the toxic fumes coming from my ass. The oxygen masks dropped down and everybody was screaming. My shit was so hot that the plane started catching on fire. The engine exploded and the plane was going down. We hit the water and the plane exploded. People were frantically swimming around. The fumes and acidic liquid had leaked from the plane and had now intoxicated the entire Pacific Ocean. Everybody in the water died from the mononucleosis electrons that came from my shit. The people on the boat that came to rescue me all died from intense hypothermia.
My stepson is 7. Found a bunch of searches. 4. Dominicans with no hands and feet. Dominicans with no heads. Dominican chests. Dominican torsos. Dominican legs. Dominicans in stores. Dominicans on sale. Silver Dominicans. Black Dominicans. White Dominicans. I was at a loss of how to bring it up to him. Thankfully, the next day we were in a clothing store, and he asked me why Dominicans don't have hands or heads. Then why there are so many different colored Dominicans. I remembered the internet searches, and became a little upset. I told him to be quiet, because what he was saying could be taken offensively by Dominican people. He then got frustrated and loudly said Dominicans aren't people as he pointed to a statue next to us. I breathed a sigh of relief and said mannequins.
There was this one boy at my school who was an absolute disgrace to the world. Literally, I've never met a more idiotic person in my existence. He body shamed and bullied many people. He also was a racist, homophobic, sexist dumbass and he did many really bad things but never got in trouble. So me being me, I did something about it. I did my research and looked for recipes that would make his tummy rumble jumble. I found a mix of spices that I just so happened to have in my kitchen. I mixed them and put the mixture in a little container. When I got to school I sprinkled it in his turkey sandwich. When it was time for lunch he ate the whole thing and didn't even notice anything. During the next period, his ass erupted. He went to the hospital. Turns out I messed up the recipe and gave him something deadly. The bitch died. Lol. A couple years ago me and my family went on a cruise. One night there was a bad storm and the waves were really big. One huge wave came and made the ship shift sideways and because the floor was slippery my dumb ass fell off right into the ocean. My family didn't care because they hate me, so they left me to drown. The cruise sailed away and I was stuck alone in the middle of the ocean. While I was panicking I saw something moving in the water. It was a fat whale. I yelled at the fat whale and told him to back off. Fat whale was not happy with me so he gobbled me up like I was a PBJ. I thought I was going to die since I was literally in the intestines of a huge sea mammal but somehow I made it out alive. So basically, I had a huge dinner that night and my ass was more than ready to explode. Finally I started shitting. It wouldn't stop. Fat whale's insides were filling up with my fecal matter. Fat whale threw up and I was launched into the sky like a rocket. Somehow I landed on the cruise again and went to find my family. They were very upset to see me because they wanted me to die. One day me and my family were driving to our local grocery store to buy some raspberry lemon meringue pie. I wasn't feeling well and my mom told me it was because I hadn't eaten anything yet. I went with it and had a piece of that raspberry lemon meringue pie. Bad decision. My ass started to rumble grumble tumble bumble dumble. I asked my dad to pull over so I could release my fecal matter on the side of the road. He refused and boy did he pay for it. Out of nowhere we hit a crack in the road and I exploded. The shit started flowing out of me like no tomorrow. My family died on the spot due to the electrodynamic fumes that leaked into their brains. The car started filling up with my shit and I had to open the doors to avoid drowning. My shit was steaming hot and the car caught on fire. It exploded and intoxicated everyone nearby. Emergency helicopters had to come and block off the area because the air was toxic and my shit has sucked all the oxygen out of it. All wildlife died due to the harmful fumes leaking from my ass. In the end everything was fine because I'm